Let's all stand. All persons having any business before this honourable court now draw nigh and give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Sana Ahmad.
May it please the court, I move that Sana Ahmad be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sana Ahmed be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amani Al-Skef.
May it please the court, I move that Amani Al-Skef be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amani Al-Skef be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Thomas Leslie Alchin.
May it please the court, I move that Thomas Leslie Alchin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Thomas Leslie Alchin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nayonika Devashish Bhattacharya.
May it please the court, I move that Nayonika Devashish Bhattacharya be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nayonika Devashish Bhattacharya be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nathan Guy Bowen.
May it please the court, I move that Nathan Guy Bowen be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nathan Guy Bowen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Halid Boyraz.
May it please the court, I move that Halida Boyras be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Halida Boyras be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kyle Butcher.
May it please the court, I move that Kyle Butcher be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kyle Butcher be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jonathan Paul Kakowski.
May it please the court, I move Jonathan Paul Kakowski be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jonathan Paul Kakowski be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Leah Truman.
May it please the court, I move that Leah Truman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Leah Truman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kyla Lillian Daly.
May it please the court, I move that Kyla Lillian Daly be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kyla Lillian Daly be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Erica De Cruz.
May it please the court, I move that Erica De Cruz be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Erica De Cruz be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kayla Dibb.
May it please the court, I move that Kayla Dibb be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kayla Dibb be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Angus James Chandler Dowie.
May it please the court, I move that Angus James Chandler Dowie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Angus James Chandler Dowie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Patrick Francis Downs.
May it please the court, I move that Patrick Francis Downs be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Patrick Francis Downs be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Raman Dalu.
May it please the court, I move that Raman Dulu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Raman Dulu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Grace Ann Ellis.
May it please the court, I move that Grace Ann Ellis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Grace Ann Ellis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Rochelle Forrest.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Rochelle Forrest be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anna Rochelle Forrest be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Vicky Louise Garrity.
May it please the court, I move that my sister, Vicky Louise Garrity, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Vicky Louise Garrity be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Maurice Mohammed Gandul.
May it please the court, I move that Maurice Mohammed Gandor be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Maurice Mohammed Gandor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alice Elizabeth Maynard Gillespie.
May it please the court, I move that Alice Elizabeth Maynard Gillespie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alice Elizabeth Maynard Gillespie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ruby Rose Hasler.
May it please the court, I move that Ruby Rose Hasler be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Ruby Rose Hassler be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Reneen Linda Naja Hassan.
May it please the court, I move that Reneen Linda Najer Hassan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Raneen Linda Najer Hassan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Junzi Huang.
May it please the court, I move that Junji Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Junzi Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Danielle Rachel Jenkins.
May it please the court, I move that Danielle Rachel Jenkins be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Danielle Rachel Jenkins be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Paul Canbor.
May it please the court, I move that Paul Canbor be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Paul Canbor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Minzu Kwak.
May it please the court, I move that Minju Kwak be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Minju Kwak be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Matthias Lauby.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Matthias Lauby, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Matthias Lauby be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Oying Priscilla Lung.
May it please the court, I move that Oying Priscilla Lung be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Oying Priscilla Lung be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Winston Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Winston Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Winston Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Neve Esther Martin.
May it please the court, I move that he, Esther Martin, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Neam Esther Martin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexandra Kate Louise Martin.
May it please the court, I move that my partner, Alex Kate Louise Martin, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alexandra Kate Louise Martin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Charlotte Lily McGrath.
May it please the court, I move that Charlotte Lily McGrath be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Charlotte Lily McGrath be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stella Adriana Monteleone.
May it please the court, I move that Stella Monteleone be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stella Adriana Monteleone be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jack Kyriakos Petrakis.
May it please the court, I move that my husband, Jack Kyriakos Petrakis, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jack Kyriakos Petrakis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Thomas Phillips.
May it please the court, I move that Thomas Phillips be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Thomas Phillips be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Preston Timo Puhaka.
May it please the court, I move that Preston Timo Puhaka be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Preston Timo Puhaka be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Justin Randall Roberts.
May it please the court, I move that Justin Randall Roberts be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Justin Randall Roberts be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Talisa Jade Ruas.
May it please the court, I move that Talisa Jade Lewis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Talisa Jade Ruas be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sonali Lynette Sharma.
May it please the court, I move that Sonali Lynette Sharma be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sonali Lynette Sharma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stuti Srivastava.
May it please the court, I move that Stuti Srivastava be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stuti Srivastava be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Angela Susak.
May it please the court, I move that Angela Susak be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Angela Susak be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kanishk Thakur.
May it please the court, I move that Kanishk Thakur be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kanishk Thakur be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Portia Stephanie Timmis.
May it please the court, I move that Portia Stephanie Timmis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Portia Stephanie Timmis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kim Mai Tran.
May it please the court, I move that Kim Mai Tran be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kim Mai Tran be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Andrew Weng.
May it please the court, I move that Andrew Wang be admitted as lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Andrew Weng be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ashley Lauren Wan.
May it please the court, I move that Ashley Lauren Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Ashley Lauren Wan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hai Qing Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Hai King Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Hai King Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Xin Yi Zhu.
May it please the court, I move that Xin Yi Zhu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Xin Yi Zhu be admitted as a lawyer of this court. It will now be necessary for those whose admission has just been moved to, when and as directed, stand for the purposes of swearing an oath or making an affirmation or declaration. So please stand when and as directed by Ms. Plater.
Could the first two rows on my right please stand? Sana Ahmad, Amani Askef, Thomas Leslie Alchin, Nyanika Bashish Bhattacharya, Nathan Guy Bowen, Halida Boyraz, Kyle Butcher, Jonathan Paul Kakowski, Leah Truman, Kyla Lillian Daly, Erica De Cruz, Carla Dibb, Angus James Chandler Dowie, Patrick Francis Downs, Raman Dalu, Grace Ann Ellis. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. And could rows 3 and 4 on my right please stand? Anna Rochelle Forrest, Vicky Louise Garrity, Maurice Mohammed Gandul, Alice Elizabeth Maynard Gillespie, Ruby Rose Hassler, Renine Linda Naja Hassan, Junzi Huang, Danielle Rachel Jenkins, Paul Campbell, Minzu Quack, Matthias Lauby, Oi Ying Priscilla Lung, Winston Lee, Neve Esther Martin, Alexandra Kate Louise Martin, Charlotte Lily McGrath, Stella Adriana Monteleone, Jack Kyriakos Petrakis, and Thomas Phillips. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. And could the 2 rows on my left please stand? Preston Timo Puhoka, Justin Randall Roberts, Talisa Jade Ruiz, Somali Lynette Sharma, Stuti Srivastava, Angela Susak, Kanish Thakur, Portia Stephanie Timmis, Kim Mai Tran, Andrew Weng, Ashley Lauren Wan, Hai King Zhang, and Xin Yi Zhu. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court, the ceremonial court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench this morning, to my right, is Justice Adamson, a judge of the Court of Appeal. To my left, Justice Baston, an acting judge of the Court of Appeal, having previously been a permanent judge of the Court of Appeal, and to Justice Adamson's right, Justice Weinstein of the Common Law Division. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you, the newly admitted lawyers, to practice this morning. And we have done so sitting in a court which rests on the land of the Gadigal of the Eora Nation, who have cared and been custodians of this land for thousands of years. And the court pays its sincere respects to elders, past and present, and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I also acknowledge and welcome, sitting with us on the bench this morning is His Honour Judge Robert Cameron of the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia. I'm very pleased that you're able to sit with us this morning. Well, to all of the newly admitted lawyers to my left and right, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one for great celebration. We up here on the bench remember, perhaps only just, how hard you all worked to reach this important milestone at the beginning of your legal professional careers. I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, no doubt, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on the journey so far. For many of them, the endurance of your finely polished or developing skills of argument and persuasion may now be at an end, or maybe not. But whatever that be the case, I'm sure they are all immensely proud of you, and I encourage you to take time to thank them for their support today. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you might even convince them to shout you to a long civilised lunch or dinner to mark the occasion. Now, in being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you each join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. And this court first admitted lawyers in 1824. Last month, or 2 months ago, on the 17th of May, the court to which you've just been admitted celebrated its 200th anniversary. It might surprise you to learn that it is one of the oldest continuing courts in the world, and that is something which we, and I hope now you, are immensely proud. We had a great celebration for the bicentenary and a ceremonial sitting in this courtroom, which was packed. Some very significant speeches were made, and there is a video of the ceremony available on the court's website, which I would urge you all to watch. You're also a very fortunate cohort, because after this ceremony, when you move to the lobby of the court to sign the roll and receive your certificate of admission, you'll also be presented gratis with a copy of the court's recently published bicentenary history entitled Constant Guardian, Changing Times, A History of the Supreme Court of New South Wales 1824 to 2024 as a memento of your admission in this bicentennial year. So your timing is exquisite. I do hope that you take time to read and enjoy the book. It's only 450 pages, although there are quite a few pictures, but it has a wealth of fascinating information in it about the court of which you've each just become an officer. In celebrating the court's bicentenary, we also celebrate 200 years of the rule of law in New South Wales, about which I shall say a little more shortly. This ceremony is attended by unique but important formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by someone who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have each made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers and before senior judges of the court. They and we are all therefore witnesses to the serious promises and undertakings you have made this morning. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation you have just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. So whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law Office, the Aboriginal Legal Service for legal aid, or a government department or regulatory agency, or indeed in an entirely different field, you should, as a lawyer of this court, be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and you must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. You will see from the portraits of former Chief Justices which adorn the walls of this court that we up here on the bench are wearing the same robes, in some cases, I have to say literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. You may be wondering why, after 200 years, we still wear these robes on ceremonial occasions. I can tell you that we don't wear them because they are particularly comfortable, which they are not. But we do so for symbolic reasons. They serve to highlight the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although importantly, the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. Some 45% of all judicial officers in New South Wales are now female. That is a radical change from the time we all commenced practice, which in my case I like to think was not that long ago, although others would disagree. But it has been an extremely salutary change to the composition of the profession and of the bench. As to continuity of the rule of law, in a world in which there is so much global uncertainty and insecurity, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply some academic construct or a phrase of mere theoretical import. At its simplest, the rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. As we survey the globe, there's nothing theoretical about those threats and realities. In a speech delivered in 2018, Lord Hodge of the UK Supreme Court aptly described the rule of law as, and I quote, a bastion against those who would use chaos as a ladder, unquote. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, and to which I've referred, the life of the law is dynamic. Not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. The pandemic prompted a radical shift in the use of technology in our courtrooms, and the advent of artificial intelligence brings with it both opportunities and challenges, which the legal profession and the judiciary is and will continue to engage. While the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, it is and always has been my firm view that the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and generally deal with each other. An individual who may be in need of your services as a lawyer will in many cases be an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, family, health or financial position. There is therefore a need for lawyers to deliver legal services not only competently but always with courtesy, integrity and sensitivity to the circumstances often pressing of the matter. That requires a human being with emotional and not artificial intelligence. The need for human engagement by lawyers with those needing legal assistance is also a powerful reason why there should be strong representation amongst lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. That very much includes Indigenous lawyers. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can and feel that they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community and a judiciary which is sensitive to the many different cultural differences which contribute to contemporary Australian society. The admissions ceremonies in which I have sat over the last 5 years, including this ceremony, highlights that there is far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and of the judiciary are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That in turn builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary and the legal profession and ultimately for the rule of law. Now let me now offer a little bit of professional and personal advice, which I hope is not too heavy on a Friday morning. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed over your years of study to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice. They are duties and obligations by reference to which you have just sworn your oath and affirmation, and I remind you that that is a continuing promise. It is a continuing obligation. At various points of your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some more serious. If we're honest with ourselves, we all make mistakes from time to time, especially perhaps when starting out on something new. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. One mistake which I always urge young lawyers at these ceremonies not to make or to seek to avoid making is to fall into the trap of giving your clients the advice you think that they want to hear. I can tell you now that that will not be good advice. They will not thank you for it in the long run. Your role as a lawyer, as a legal advisor, is to give your conscientious, independent view of the matter to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability, irrespective of whether it's something you think your client would like to hear or would not like to hear. Your duty and your role is to give strong, independent, and courageous advice. Being a lawyer means that you have become an advisor, a problem solver, sometimes a mediator, sometimes an advocate. And as you go about your day-to-day work, remember, as I've indicated, you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but as it applies to people's lives. That human engagement extends to your interactions with your professional colleagues, including those with whom you negotiate or against whom you litigate. Aspects of the law, especially if you're involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational. But the practice of the law will be stressful and demanding enough without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as it unfortunately sometimes does. It's therefore essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and I would add good humour, remembering at all times you're now members of a profession, which is not a business, it is a profession, and it's a distinct concept, and that's an important distinction. Another thing you should remember is that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Now, some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could use that reminder from time to time, and I don't wholly exclude myself from it, but it is an important point. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible or difficult and certainly complex. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, so strive to be clear and concise at all times in both what you write and in what you say. To do so facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are both extremely important. These are matters which we have a much more acute understanding of now than was the case 30 years ago. There may, and I dare say will be times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that's often because lawyers will want to go, conscientious lawyers will want to go the extra mile for their client to ensure that the advice is comprehensive or the case is fully prepared, and that's all good and admirable and not to be discouraged. But it can be, as I've said, can become all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. So you must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have and do from time to time, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. You should also know and remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And in this context, I'm now going to call upon two young representatives, one from the New South Wales Bar Association and one from the Law Society of New South Wales, to offer a few brief words of welcome and encouragement. Dr. Townsend, do you move?
May it please the Court, I begin by respectfully joining in Your Honour's acknowledgement of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, their elders past and present, and other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, including those who may be present here today. My name is David Townsend, and I have been practicing for 4 years at the bar, predominantly in commercial law, equity, and class actions. Admittees, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and importantly to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of solicitors and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. Admittees, the person who walked into this courtroom today is not the same as the one who will walk out. You entered as a student at law, but you will leave as a lawyer, an officer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, one of the oldest institutions of justice in the country, and as the Chief Justice has just told us, the world. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case, a barrister. Along with the government, the police, the judiciary, and others, lawyers are the columns upon which the whole edifice of the rule of law is built. I am proud, as I hope you will be too, to be a member of the legal profession. As a barrister, I get to work with intelligent people, many of them my opponents, to use reason, common sense, and humanity to help the court to arrive at solutions to difficult problems of law. It's a serious responsibility, and it can be quite a challenge at times, but it is very satisfying to know that I can help my clients by giving expert advice and by appearing and speaking for them in courts like this one. As a barrister, I sometimes feel that I have, to use Theodore Roosevelt's words, won what is far and away the best prize that life offers, the chance to work hard at work worth doing. Many come to the bar after several years' practice as a solicitor first. There is great value in learning how to litigate as a solicitor before taking on the role of being a barrister. However, you should not assume that there is some sort of set path to the bar. I, for instance, came with more experience as an academic than as a solicitor and more overseas than in Australia. In fact, at times, I've been a zookeeper and a leader of wine tours in Italy. Make of those experiences what you will. But the point is, everyone comes to the bar by their own path. On commencing as a barrister, I found myself actively welcomed by more senior colleagues and wonderfully supported by my tutors and my colleagues, many of whom have become close and genuine friends. Through coming to the bar, I even ended up meeting my wife, whose admission I moved in this court just a couple of months ago. I found that the experiences that I brought to the bar were valued by my colleagues, and I have found that my own professional life is enriched by the diversity of backgrounds and experiences of my fellows at the bar. If this sounds like your kind of place, then I would encourage you to consider joining the New South Wales Bar too. I think you might enjoy it. If you're interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website, and each year there is a Career at the Bar Open Day. In your first year of practice as a barrister, you are a reader and you receive particular assistance from 2 barristers of at least 7 years seniority who meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you professional skills. But the support you will receive is not limited to those 2 barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers. There are also opportunities to become involved in the work of the New South Wales Bar Association, which is the professional body that supports barristers and has a range of committees, including a new barristers committee, which organises social and educational functions for 0 to 5 year barristers like me. I'm one of the chairs of that committee this year, and a diversity and equality committee, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual orientation. Whether as a solicitor or a barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or the Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others and practice your profession in connection with others. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Mr. Knox of the Law Society.
May it please the court. I join with Your Honour and my friend in acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. My name is Christian Knox, and not so long ago, I stood where you are standing today. It feels as though it was both just the other day and a lifetime ago. But what a great day it is. You will each remember it for the rest of your lives. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. But it's also the first step at the start of another exciting journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far and should look forward to the career you're about to commence. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. It hasn't always been easy. Oftentimes, it has been overwhelming. But as I stand here today, after 5 years of working in family law, I can tell you I've learned a thing or two. One of the most important things I've learned is the importance of belonging to a welcoming and collegiate profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one in which we are glad to say you now belong to. Never feel afraid to reach out to another lawyer for assistance, whether that be for a tricky legal question, for advice on your first solo court appearance, or just to vent, which happens more often than I care to say. Invariably, both young lawyers and more senior lawyers, both solicitors and barristers, are exceptionally welcoming and are always willing to lend a hand. The Law Society of New South Wales is the home of the legal community, with our 42,000 lawyers flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. That is why I've been part of the Law Society's New South Wales Young Lawyers branch since my admission 5 years ago. Here, I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance, and support when needed most, as well as opportunities to advocate and join committees. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you'll gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as a newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So again, on behalf of the Law Society, congratulations to you all. Look us up or speak to your employer about us. We look forward to welcoming you into our Law Society community. Please.
Thank you. Can I say this to you all then in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, challenging and satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer, proud of your achievements to date, and proud of the profession you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community, and you are now a very important part of that very important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to your community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We up here on the bench wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career. On behalf of Justice Adamson, Justice Baston, Justice Weinstein, and all of the judges of the Supreme Court, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.